All right, Zach's House Bible Study recap. Tonight we covered Peter's life, a little bit about when he first, when Jesus said that when the shepherd was going to be struck down, the sheep would scatter, and that he said that, you guys would deny me to his disciples. And Peter was just adamant, that's not going to be me. But then, as we saw later in the story, he did end up denying Jesus 3 times, and so the kicker, the big thing of the story tonight was, through that, Jesus, him saying, reiterating to him, 3 times, do you love me, Peter?
Peter says, do you love me? And he says, yes. Then he says, feed my lambs. Then second time, feed my sheep. And then, there's ultimately that 3rd time. And just the reinstatement of Peter. And there's just always that paradox. And remember that word. But there's always that paradox of you set out to do something. Peter set out to always be by Jesus' side, to never deny him. And yet, ultimately, he denied him 3 times. And so there was probably that internal struggle for him. It's like, well, I love you, but I've let you down. Or, how can you still love me after what I did to you?
And Josh asked that at the beginning, what are some things we've really tried to do but then failed at? And so that kind of was hitting home the whole story. And that's what, the following Christ is all about is, and because that was the final thing Jesus said was follow me. And that's how he's going to be able to feed the sheep and feed the lambs, is by following Jesus. And so, it's not by what we do, but it's by how close we follow to Jesus, who's already done it for us. He's already made the way. So it was really cool to kind of go through and see Peter in another light.
Then we ended tonight, we prayed just as a group here, and then we walked over to the church because coming this fall.
Josh made an announcement. What's the name of our new Paradox? Paradox. We're gonna have a Sunday night service, just trying to share that same message, these stories that we're talking about, that that shows the impact of Jesus in our lives through real ways, through stories. The hope of this service is to let students, let people in this area know you belong. That's the message is going to be really preached over and over again, is you belong. And it's not by what you've done in your life, because we've all screwed up in our life, but it's because of what Jesus has done on the cross. And it's, that's the ultimate sacrifice, that, he's the one that says you belong, not by what you do. So
just remember that word, paradox.
Yes.
The paradox of we haven't, lived up to what we should be, but ultimately, we are received and we are welcome because of what Christ has done.
So good night tonight, studying together, and there's more to come as we spend this summer preparing to see what God's going to do this fall. So stay tuned.